another exciting episode of Haunt Talk. Today we will be talking about Buzzards Cove Scream Park.
Mm-hmm. Yep. We went to this haunt last year, and we weren't the biggest fans of it. It was very short. It didn't get a very good review. We have since taken that review down because we were reached out to, basically said that everything has been completely redone under new management and stuff like that, so we had extra time, so we did go out and check it out on opening weekend, so things were a little bit rough, but we took that into consideration when doing this review, which usually we don't, but people whine about it a lot, so we do understand we're trying to be a little more forgiving about things like that, so that being said.
Yes.
I will say right off the bat before I even get into the review, though, it's a big improvement over over last year.
Oh, yeah.
Like I said, rough around the edges because opening weekend, but you can already tell that once they get in the full swing of things, it's going to be much better than it was last year.
Yes. For sure. Because last year they were calling themselves a Scream Park, and there was really only one house.
Yeah, I mean they had like a putt-putt course you could go on, but that's not really
not really spooky.
Yeah, that's not really something I'd call a Scream Park. Yeah, maybe a putt-putt course with a haunted house attached, but
now they actually have 3 attractions. They still have the haunted house. Mm-hmm. They have a haunted trail, and then they also have a hayride.
Correct. Yep.
So and there is still putt-putt, but yeah.
There's still putt-putt as well, but yeah. Yeah, so I mean, that being said, I guess we might as well just kind of start getting in the review and breaking it down by categories.
All right, so we'll start off with sets and props. The trail had quite a few really interesting things in it.
It did, yeah. There's like they built some buildings back there that was kind of like a, like a hillbilly type of thing, like a little town they built back there.
Yeah, and they had a really cool facade that you walked through that looked kind of like
it was really cool.
A mouth of a skeleton or monster or something like that. That was really neat.
Which I took a picture of, but just didn't come out. It's just a blur, so, oopsies.
And then the haunted house was actually considerably more than last time. Last time it was a lot of just stuff painted on the walls, and there was a few scenes and stuff like that. But they actually had quite a bit of really cool scenes inside there.
Yeah, I don't know how many scenes, because the haunted house itself last year wasn't that bad. It was the fact that was all that really was there.
Yeah.
And so the value was just pretty bad for all the more you really got for such a short experience.
Right.
But they definitely added to it and more actors and stuff like that.
Yeah, and it was a lot better.
They had a really cool graveyard scene in the trail. I do remember that. I think the trail is probably about the highlight for me.
Yeah.
And again, it was rough because there were some actors that definitely were kind of unsure of their spots and stuff like that, which we could tell. But again, opening weekend. But
speaking of the graveyard, there was a guy that was actually in the ground.
Oh yeah, that was really cool.
I thought that was really neat because there was just this grave popping out of the ground, and I'm like.
Because he actually had his halfway buried.
Yeah, I see this guy in there, and I'm like, is that a real guy? And then he jumped out, and I was like, oh my god, that's really cool. Because he was in there. He was in the ground. It was really neat.
Yeah, that was really cool. And the graveyard was pretty big. And they had some buildings back through there as well.
Yeah.
They had a few different buildings that they had put back there. And the trail was fairly long. It was probably 10 to 15 minutes, I would say. Roughly around there is what it took. And then after that, you get on the hayride. Now, this is definitely the weakest point of the bunch. Literally nothing happened on it for the most. Well, okay, not literally, not much happened on it.
Yeah, the first or second thing we did have, there was some actors.
It was the first one.
It was the first. Okay,
it was the first one.
Yeah, and then after that, there wasn't anything else. It was just some lit up scenes and stuff. And
yeah, a couple of people were in lit, so I'm assuming that as it progresses through the season, it's going to be a little more, because I wasn't even sure. There's a couple things that I'm like, I don't know if this is just part of what it normally is, like the putt, because it's a driving range, not putt, a driving range is where it's.
Yeah.
Because it's not like you're in the woods or anything. Literally, the A-wagon just kind of zigzags back and forth. So I mean. The hayride, there really wasn't much to it.
Yeah.
There really wasn't much to it. So definitely don't go there thinking you're going to get a really awesome hayride. The trail and the house are the main focus. The hayride's kind of more of a transportation, so you don't have to walk all the way back to the barn.
Right.
So that part's greatly appreciated. So you don't have to walk through this field to the barn.
Yeah, for sure. So for sets and props, we did give them an 8.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was a huge improvement from last year. The trail was a highlight for me. And the inside of the barn, except they improved on that too.
Yeah.
So next up is going to be actors. also an improvement over last year. So the ones that were there, and it did need more actors, but again, I think that'll happen. I've seen things on their Facebook that they're trying to find more. So as the season progresses, they probably will get more. So your experience probably a little bit better than ours was for at least the amount of actors.
Yeah, for sure. A few star actors were and we know that she's actually from a different haunt, and
she's worked another haunt before.
Yeah, there was a girl there, and she had a toilet brush, and she was brushing her armpit, and she's like, "Let me get you some of that armpit gravy."
Yeah, that's gross.
Gross. But it was effective. And then there was a guy, and my apologies if it's real, but he was really hairy. And he was crawling on the ground,
yeah.
and it was
weird. Yeah,
it was
cool.
Weird and creepy, and yeah, it was really hairy.
He was just crawling all over the place. And then there's a girl in I'm trying to think if it was a body bag room or it's like a curtain room, but it's like in the basement of the haunted house or the second floor, not really a basement. She was like toying with us a lot.
Yeah.
But all of them followed you really well. All the ones that were there were doing a really good job, and they were definitely into it. Like I didn't feel like anyone was like being real traditional and just going boo. It seemed like they all tried and they were all having fun with it. You know, lots of energy, which is definitely the most important thing.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Said not as many as I would like to see, but again, that'll probably get better throughout the year.
Right, it's the start of the year. A lot of times people are in school, things like that. It's just kind of, schedule wise. So
right.
It'll probably open up a little bit more once the season really kicks off. So, so for actors, we did give them an 8.
Like I said, not as many as you like, but the ones that were there were very good. Yeah, they were doing a very, very good job. All right. So our next category is scare factor, and of course it has improved as well.
Yes. I mean, it's hard with some haunted houses. You get, if they don't scare you, they entertain you at least. There was a few points that I did get scared.
Like they got me a couple times as well.
Couple times that I did not expect anything at all, and we did give them a 7.5. It could use a little bit of improvement, but then again, it's early. Yeah. You never know.
Yeah, because this is, I think it is geared a little more towards family. I mean, it is still there to scare you, but it's not like a haunt that's going to be like crazy, like intense, or you like feel like you're having an anxiety attack. Which that's like I like that kind of thing, but a lot of people might prefer something like this, where like you're going to get scared, they're going to jump, they're going to fall, you're going to be creepy, but they're not going to like ravage you.
Yeah,
like
you're not gonna get dragged down a hallway.
Right. Or anything like that. This is a little more traditional and tame, which isn't a bad thing, but that's just kind of more the style that they like seem to be going for.
So next we're moving on to value. It is $20 to get in. It took us roughly about 25 minutes to get through everything.
Yeah, and that's not including, like, if you take out, because we did have to wait for the hayride a little bit.
Yeah.
So that's like taking out that, so just bare bones, because the house was about 10 minutes, the trail was about 10 to 15, the hayride wasn't, well, it might have been a little longer than the hayride was about 10 minutes, it might have been about 30 minutes, actually, but...
Yeah, about 25, 30, probably.
Yeah, somewhere in that range. And again, depends on, especially the trail. There's like a couple like maze areas, so if you get through that stuff real quick, or slower, can vary a little bit.
Same with the house. There was a part that we were in that we
where
did get lost, kind of.
Yeah, she made us lost.
She made us lost. Yeah. So it did take a little bit longer for us to get through a certain point. So yeah, probably like 25, 30 minutes to get everything through.
But I will say,
waiting, so
like,
to speak.
We've been saying that everything, has improved since last. This is definitely the biggest improvement, because this was, I think it was only like a 3 last year, because like it was just the haunt, and it was 5 to 10 minutes, and they were charging the same price last year. It might even be a little more, I don't remember.
It was $25, I believe, last year, and it took us like 5 minutes to get through the haunted house, and it was like...
Because last year they also offered like a little flashlight thing. It was a UV light. I think that was the $25.
Yeah, that was for $25. Yeah,
Which
if you paid the $5 more, you got the little flashlight to use. You didn't get to keep it. You use it. Yeah, it
was a UV flashlight, and you could see things they paint on the wall. I mean, it was kind of a cool idea, but I think charging $5 for that was a little ridiculous.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure they've done away with that. I didn't see
it, and they didn't offer it.
Yeah, I'm not sure if there's a VIP option or not.
Yeah.
Yeah. either way.
Yeah. So I mean, we gave them an 8, which is a huge
improvement over
a huge improvement from what it was last year. So.
Yeah, I mean, that's one good thing. Is like, yes, last year the review we gave them was definitely not favorable, but I think that was their first year as well. Well, I think they might have did it before, and then it was like their first year coming back. I could be wrong, but they listened to like criticism. I don't know if they really listened to ours or other people's, and they've added stuff.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I'm sure that that was our biggest thing. It's like the place wasn't terrible last year, but it was just short and overpriced.
Yeah.
That was the issue. And now, it has even better quality, and they've added a substantial amount to it. Just the trail alone, like I said, that was really good on its own right. So,
right.
So that brings us to our overall score here, which we're basically an average of everything else, which is an 8. Yeah. Except last year was 5, so huge improvement over that. Definitely recommend you check them out. By the time you watch them, they've been open for a couple weekends, so I'm sure your experience will even be a little bit better than ours.
Mm-hmm. And there are a few other haunted houses in the area that you could hit. So, I mean, I would definitely put it on, if you want to make a night of it.
Yep.
You can hit this one. There's one that's like, what was it, like 15 minutes away?
Bloodview?
Yeah,
Bloodview's about 15 minutes.
About 15 minutes away. And I think Chippewa Lake is maybe a little bit further, but it's as close. Yeah. It's like 30 minutes maybe. Real
close. Real good haunts. I mean, make yourself a nice night of 3 haunts together. The one we haven't done a review of, and we don't know if we're going to be doing a review, and we haven't heard the best things, but we can't say personally, is Carnival of Horrors. So there's a lot in the area, is basically what we're saying. So there's lots of options. If you're doing Bloodview or doing Chippewa, make sure you at least give these guys a check out too, because everyone starts somewhere, and they've already made such a huge improvement from last year to this year. I'm excited to see what they do, even next year.
Right.
So
yeah.
But that does it for this review. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to us on YouTube, leave a comment, let us know if you've been there more recently, and what you thought of your experience. We love to hear about that. And also make sure to check us out on Facebook. We post updates and stuff on there. We're also actually doing a couple of giveaways and stuff this year, so make sure you check out that and keep on Facebook and all that for update and watch other videos. But until next time, bye.
Later.